Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we're here tonight with the ARCA Evolution Series, the race number 30, season finale. We've been here since January, ladies and gentlemen. This is the championship race here at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the ARCA Evolution Series. And tonight, it's going to be a very, very fun time. But first, let's give a shout out to all the sponsors who help make it happen here at the Evolution Racing. First, we're going to give a shout out to ORR Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. You can go check out their website at ornissancentral.com. Next, we have Sheffield Graphics. Sheffield Graphics is the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. Make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics. And we also want to give a special shout out to our sponsor here, Freaky Fast, and that is ButtKicker. Make sure you go to ButtKicker.com to check out all their various products there and use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off there of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com, and you can feel what you've been missing. Also, you can go check out the McConey Setup Shop, the home for the official setup shop of the Richmond Raceway esports team. And they got plenty of stuff over there in store for you there. You can go check them out at McConeySetupShop.com today and use our promo code FFB10 to get 10% off of any setup purchase. So thank you to all the sponsors who helped make it happen here. Also, we got a giveaway. Almost forgot about going down with the McConey Setup Shop that we'll have going out in the chat. But first, let's get into the race tonight here. As I'm Zach Hall, we have Brandon Colley up in the booth alongside me with Robert Moyer Jr. in the production box. But we got a group of 4 guys here looking to win a championship tonight. Well, let's get a chat with these 4 gentlemen as they want to do this all together in one big group. And I'm going to introduce them before they come in here. We'll have David Edwards in the 15 machine. In the 15 car, he's going to have 6 wins this season coming into here tonight. So very strong number 15 machine. Then we'll have Chris Morrow with his 7 wins in the 14. Justin Malarkey joining him as his teammate, 3 wins in the 73. And Matt Upbrook teammates with David Edwards with 1 win coming into tonight here. Those are your final 4. Let's go ahead and have a chat with these 4 gentlemen and hear about what their thoughts are here on the Homestead Miami Speedway track. Hello, gentlemen. Well, welcome up to the booth. This is our final 4 here tonight. Like I said, just introduce each and every one of them. And, man, I tell you what, it's a great group of 4 we got here. I first want to, before we get things kicked off, and I'll let them kind of banter back and forth with each other and get some interesting little tidbits before this race kicks off. I want to ask each of you one question here tonight before you guys kind of go back and forth and kind of give you guys the floor. But we'll go in this order. We'll go with David first, then we'll go Chris, and then we'll go to Justin, and then Matt. So I just want each of you guys to kind of explain what you think it's going to take to get it done here tonight at Homestead. This is going to be a tough thing because you got 4 strong competitors here tonight. First, starting off with you, David, what's it going to take, man?
A whole lot of luck. I mean, this field's stacked. I mean, each and every week you see it, and it's down to us 4. So it's a little bit of luck and a whole lot of luck because, you got, 9 other guys out there that could seal your fate. So just try to focus on your race forward, and let the cards fall how they may.
Very, very great answer there from David. Now we'll move on to Chris. What's your feelings on here tonight, man? What's it going to take for you to get that 14 in the championship position?
Very eloquently put there. I don't know that I can improve upon that. It's my whole focus tonight is just to, like Dave said, just eyes forward, focus on your own race. You really can't do anything about what the other guys are going to do. So best thing is just don't make the mistake that's going to cost you. I'd rather be beat than, speed on pit road or, just do something silly like that. Because I respect the hell out of not only these 3 guys, but a bunch of the other guys who could take home the W tonight. And it would not shock me. So just minimizing mistakes, I guess, would be my answer.
Yeah, definitely a great one there, too. Mistakes are going to be huge. Justin, how are you feeling about coming in here tonight, man? What's it going to take?
Yeah, pretty much don't pound the wall down when you're up in the high line. That's my goal.
Well, man, that's definitely interesting. So we could see that high line come into play. That's the one thing also, as we talked about that a little bit, the race earlier this season. It was the second race of the season, all the way back to January. Now we're in August. It's been 8 months. But Matt, you finished actually 6th there at that race at Homestead, the second race of the season. Man, what's it going to take to get yourself up there in the championship position? Yeah,
Wrong
I think
channel.
Matt may have. Wrong channel. Actually, yeah, there you go.
Ah, there we go. Let's try this one. Wrong button. But yeah, it's going to take a win. If I don't win, then one of these 3 other that I'm racing with, or they'll probably win for sure. So it's going to be tough racing all night, but being consistent and like someone said, not making mistakes. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a huge factor here. Defending race winner here is Chris Merle. So congrats, Chris. You get the win here back to start the season off. Now, guys, you guys can talk in between yourselves and kind of, I know y'all wanted to banter a little bit and get some talks before here about how you're, yeah, Robert, some smack talk. So let's hear some smack talk from the gentlemen.
I just want to know what their pit strategy is going to be so I can plan around that.
I just want to be in
Whatever you
one
do.
lap before everyone.
I'm pitting lap 10.
I'm pitting one lap after everybody, so whoever decides, whoever wants to go first, I'm coming after you. I mean, I don't give a shit if you come lap 5. I'm coming 6.
That's 6.
I don't care what 9 other guys out there do. Whatever you 4 do, or 10 other guys, whatever you 4 do is the only thing that matters to me.
Well, we get 4 sets, so just use them all up, David. Just keep going in
Yeah,
every
Just keep
20
doing it
laps.
every time.
Every caution, man. It don't matter. Hopefully there's.
Hey, just use the old car, use the old smoke line of "I'll wreck your mom, I'll wreck my mom." It don't matter.
Yeah, definitely interested there. Now, also, we got two teammates in each of y'all. Chris and Justice being teammates, and Matt and David. So, we're gonna talk about it later with the Cup Series too. We got 3 teammates in there. What's the teammate deal? Did we throw that one? I mean, you just talked about wrecking your mom for racing your mom hard. So, does teammates again get thrown out the window?
Yeah, we're going to qualify on a pole and just block the whole time. That's our goal.
We're team to the end. Once we get to the end, then the gloves are off. I
Pit
wouldn't
strategy
put it past
teams.
them. Yep, I wouldn't put it past David. I'd expect nonetheless him to race me as hard as he can, and if something happens, it happens. That's how we've raced all season. That's how we're going to continue to race.
Yeah, I mean the teammates go out the window with 5 to 10 to go. I mean, I'm sure Justin and Chris are the same way. We'll strategize throughout the whole race, but once it gets down to that last run, hey, it's been fun racing with y'all all year, brother. But we'll do it again in the off season, the winter off season. But for this last run, it's every man for himself.
Well, Chris and I have actually been working on a way to finish at 0.00 seconds to cross the line. So that's our strategy.
There you go.
It feels like wasted practice at this point, but we'll see what happens at the end of the race.
I just got to remind Chris of Atlanta. Just don't forget Atlanta if it comes down to it.
Gotcha.
I just want to say, I respect the hell out of your guys' team. Hopefully, and everybody else on the track, but it's been a fun season.
I agree.
Yeah, man, it's we're having a lot of fun here, and we can do that only because the mutual respect, the fun that we've had. You brought it up, man. We got January to August racing. That's wow.
That's unheard of.
That's a long commitment, especially in iRacing years. So hats off to the admins for putting on the forum, the venue for us to do this, and it wouldn't be possible without these other guys driving around us. And to be honest with you, there should be a top 10, top 16, whatever it is, because we just got a lot of good, safe, clean drivers that it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like to kind of jump on what Matt said, I respect the hell out of you guys and everybody else that we've raced with all year. I mean, I know it's kind of dwindled down here towards the end as it got to the playoffs, but, even when we were back to 20, 30 car field, it was, respectable. I mean, Chris and Justin, hell, Matt, I mean, me and Chris have had some hellacious battles. I mean, and there's not many people that I would run those close quarters with and know that, hey, he knows I'm going to respect him and he's going to respect me and we can get away with it. So, hats off to you guys all year for just running up front and, let's go out here and have some fun. Hell, it's just a simulation. So whoever the hell wins, wins,
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, it's been fun to listen to you guys go back and forth. I can hear the mutual respect between you guys. It's been fun calling it up here in the booth. I'm sure Brandon can allude to that also. It's just a real blast, and it's amazing to even think back that we were doing this in January. So it blows my mind too, guys. When we look back that far, 30 weeks in now. It's all going to come down to tonight, though. So good luck to each and every one of you. You got a few minutes before we head off to put yourself into qualifying mode. So good luck in qualifying. Put yourself in the best positions, and may the best race car driver win here tonight, guys. Best of luck to y'all, and have some fun.
Thank you. I'll see you here in a little bit.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And that was your top 4 championship contenders. Brandon, we haven't heard from you yet. Sorry, I kind of had to push that in there while I was introducing you, man. Welcome to the booth again here, as always. Man, what a good championship 4 we got here going on.
Yeah, having them all pop in here was expecting some animated personalities, and definitely got that. Guys having a lot of fun racing each other, and they talked about it. 30 weeks. That's a long season for sim racing for a league. I mean, I think the longest that I've ever run is maybe 12. So not even half of what these guys have run here. So it's a long grueling season. It all comes down to one race here at the end between these 4 guys, and hopefully, if they're gonna avoid some bad luck, it's gonna be tonight. Ideally, you want all 4 guys, top 4 positions, just nose to tail, 10 laps to go, just trying to battle it out. You don't want to have somebody get taken out 10 laps into this thing and have to, putter around and hope that maybe something catastrophic happens to the rest of them. It's going to be an exciting race. I mean, nighttime here especially is going to throw a big wrench into quite a few things, especially, what line they're going to be able to run here. Talking about Homestead, they've got the progressive bank at 18 degrees on the very bottom lane, all the way up to 20 right up against the wall. And they're going to be utilizing all of it. It's a really wide track, especially in the corners. A lot of different lanes to choose from. And looking at these guys in practice, that outside lane, it looks fast, but it looks loose as well. You got to wonder how that's going to affect their tires, and they're only going to have 2 extra sets in the pit for this race. 60% fuel. Not exactly sure what their fuel load is, how far that's going to get them, but it's more than likely, based on previous races, it's going to get them to at least 1 stop. They're going to have to stop once for fuel, but when do they decide to use that last set of tires? That could be the make or break strategy.
That very well could be, to see how the strategy plays out. I mean, like they said, they got the extra sets of tires here tonight. Man, it's going to be fun. Well, actually, I thought I heard someone say 4 sets of tires, but it's looking to me 3. So I'm going to have 2 sets of tires in the pits for these drivers tonight. So maybe one of them is miscalculated out there in the final 4. But look at Gaudio on top of the board right now, being the spoiler. Samuel Gonzalez, they're second on the board. Teammates with David Edwards and Matt Oakbrook, they're 3rd and 4th. And then Carey's going to round out your top 5 with Malarkey and Smarole. Find themselves in 6th and 7th as we'll head off into qualifying now. Looking through some of these stats these guys have. So really, I was going through doing a little research, Brandon, and looking back at it, Smarole was able to win the last race here, second race this season at Homestead. David Edwards actually came home in 2nd. Justin Malarkey was 3rd, and Matt Oakbrook was 6th. So we had 4 of our final 4 in the top 6 there. So I could expect nothing less, but just going through, looking at some of the stats throughout the whole entire season, man, some of these guys got some amazing stats. Like looking at David Edwards, 4 playoff wins, comes into this thing, 2 wins at the end of the regular season, gets a win right there before the regular season ends, and opens up the season with a win. So had a big drought there in the middle of the season during the regular part. Then comes out here, wins 4 playoff races, where it's a completely different opposite end with Smarole with 7 wins to 1 playoff win. So I mean, you're seeing some big differences there. Matt Oakbrook, he has his 1 win at Indy to get himself in, has had a consistent season all year long with a good average finish of 8.69, and even Justin Malarkey with 2 playoff wins coming into the night, so of his 3. So really, these guys have stepped up in the playoffs, and it's going to be fun to see who steps up tonight, because that's going to be the key, I think, here. 75 laps, not a very long race, as always in these ARCA series. You got to get it done, I think, here in qualifying also.
Yeah, you're really going to need a good qualifying position. It's going to be absolutely crucial. The less cars that you have to pass early on, the more care you can take on the rubber. And if you don't have to use up them tires to pass guys early on, and you can kind of ride around, maybe save a little bit, and just kind of watch what other guys are doing and see if, if there's maybe a different lane or a different approach to the corner might be a little bit faster. It's going to go a long way towards the end of the race. And also, it takes a lot of the risk away if you start up front to getting caught up in something that happens mid-pack or so, getting caught into a wreck. That's absolutely the number one thing you don't want to have happen. You want to avoid the wrecks, but you also want to avoid the wall too. Any type of damage, not going to be the best for you. And I think we've kind of echoed it all season. The short races, the qualifying just seems to matter even more compared to what we'll see in the Cup Series. You can kind of get away with a bad qualifying position in Cup. Not often do you get away with one here in the ARCA Series.
At the moment, look at that. Anthony Gaudio, he's going to storm to the top of the board with Chris Morrow putting himself second. Upbrook in third at the moment. Fourth's going to be Matthew Wood. Fifth's going to be David Edwards in the 15 machine. So some great times being put down. Looks like Gaudio, though, the one with the best at the moment. And we can see right there on our ticker, we have highlighted for you in yellow the final 4 drivers so that you can see where tonight they are always located throughout this positions here tonight. So it's going to be fun to watch those guys go back forward. Look at Malarkey puts himself above his teammate of Chris Morrow. So right now we have our top 4 contenders in second, third, fourth, and I believe Edwards is going to be about 6th or 7th once it all plays out.
Well, talking about our top 4, we also got to remember that the highest non-playoff driver, also an important position to be racing for. Apparently, that is being held by Steve Potter pretty commandingly as well. Should be able to secure that for a nice prize, even though he did not make the playoffs. Going to be getting a little something out of his time for the 30-week season here, so congrats to Steve Potter on that.
Yeah, that's always cool to see how that works out there for him. So 17th position in points gets himself in. As you can look now, with about less than 2 minutes remaining here, with about 4 drivers not yet to take time. Brian Fine, one of those, Stephen Rasick, Steve Potter, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. We'll see who can put a time up there to rival the rest of the field. But really looking back at it, we did have some roll win here at Homestead, but I'm just trying to think of tracks that can kind of have a tell of the tape. We can say, man, looking back at that track, I think this could be somewhat, comparable to here. I look at no farther than Justin Malarkey there, who qualified second. He won at Chicagoland. Also, I know another racetrack he had a lot of speed at is some of the other mile and a half this season, also winning at Charlotte. So, Malarkey, he has mile and a half pace, and I think tonight it could come down to him, his teammate, David Edwards, and Upbrook. I mean, all 4 of them, you can see they're all so close in times throughout the season. All 4 have had bright spots throughout the season. But Malarkey, I think he could be the bright shining star in all of this that comes out of here, maybe with a little bit of an upset with the 2 guys who got a good bit more wins than him this season.
Well, talking about tracks that are a bit more comparable to Homestead, I've got to think about Kansas. I mean, Kansas in a lot of ways very, very similar to Homestead, especially with the progressive banking. And Malarkey was very good there as well, running the high side. Maybe, to a fault, he was committed to that high side. But in practice, I saw him. He was very committed to running that third groove right up there with the most banking, that 20 degrees right up against the wall. And I think you're right. If that ends up being where the most speed is, especially once tires wear in, I think Malarkey's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, what I think Malarkey can't do is beat himself. I think he was one of the ones who alluded to mistakes and not making getting into the wall. I think Malarkey's had a few cases out this season, so we'll have to see if he can continue to keep that 73 up front as he's done here in qualifying, as it's all come to an end here, and we got our qualifying results. Anthony Gaudio, once again, this guy is on a tear for qualifying. He's out here to prove something in this 3 machine. He's going to be your Sheffield Graphics pole winner. Second's going to go to Justin Malarkey. Third's going to be Christopher Smerol. Fourth's going to go to Stephen Carey. Fifth's going to be Matt Upbrook. Sixth, Jake Ashay. Seventh's going to be Matthew Dude. Eighth, David Edwards. Ninth's going to be Richard Gonzalez. 10th's going to be Justin Hendry. 11th, James Wright. 12th, Brian Fine. 13th's going to be Stephen Rasick. 14th is Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. And rounding out your field in the 15th position is Steve Potter, as that's your starting grid here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series, as we'll look to bring down Anthony Gaudio from JCR Racing to hear what his thoughts are on another pole position here with our own Brandon Colley.
Hey, Anthony. Brandon up in the booth, bud. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, I thought I told you last week. You got to let somebody else get them poles so I can talk to them. You just been stealing them here lately, man. Another great qualifying run to get the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here at Homestead. How are you feeling about the race?
The car feels good. I know I like talking to you guys, man. It feels good and once a week. Either winning or getting the pole. It's nice to talk to you guys. So, but yeah, no, the car feels good. Um, it's loose, it's tight, it's all of the above. So I just gotta keep it together. Maybe something can happen.
Well, one quick question here before I let you get down there. Which lane do you think is going to be preferred and have the most speed?
The high line for sure. I mean, maybe as the tires wear out, they might get chewed up a little bit more up there. So the middle might come around, the low line might come around if we stay green for a while. But we'll all find out together.
All right, bud. Let you get down there and get ready to start this thing, and wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, we'll talk to you at the end of it.
Sounds good, man.
All right, there we go. Anthony Gaudio. This time it worked. Discord.
Yeah,
I was
this
worried.
time.
Yeah, I was worried we were going to get stuck with Anthony in here, and he's got to listen to us blabber mouse. But guess what? We are about to kick off the final race of the season here at the ARCA Evolution Series. What a season it's been. Thank you to all the fans who tuned in here tonight. Green flag is in the air. We're off and away. Who's going to be a champion? 75 laps to determine that. Down the front straightaway, though, look at this right on board Malarkey. He's going to be able to hold the outside right to Gaudio and work that high groove. Gaudio alluded to it. They're still going to be side by side here. I think he may have the run down the back straightaway.
Yeah, pretty stacked right up at the front. Now David Edwards pushing the issue back here in the 8th for 7th, and now trying to take over 6th position from Matthew Dude. Had some MR73 teammates line up just ahead of him, trying to knock them down in short order. That high side starting to train out just a little bit, but looks like Gaudio able to hold the inside of Malarkey pretty well, but giving up ground now with that big run. They're able to get off the top of the corner.
What a run for the 73. Malarkey going to the point here early in the lead. First lap to his hands. Gaudio still trying to work the bottom. Seems like that bottom is tough to get the power down off the corners. The outside can really get it rotated and turned. As Malarkey now, he goes to the bottom, trying to take the air away from the 3, maybe help his teammate Smirl out, who he's racing for the championship not only.
Well, and I think that's something that, we've seen in past races here, not even with just this league in particular, but others that we've broadcast, is it seems if you can figure out how to manage your tires and be really patient and consistent with the bottom lane, that's where you have to make passes later on, and it pays off. That's where the speed is later on in the run. So good job for Gaudio, recognizing, hey man, I'm probably not going to be able to hold off these guys for much longer on the bottom. I'm probably just going to burn up my stuff. He's in transition now up to that top groove just behind. Looks like Chris Merle right ahead of him. And looking back now to Upbrook, trying to battle with Stephen Carey here on the inside to make that pass takeover fourth. Hasn't been able to generate as big of a run that he needs. Able to pull even through the corner, but that run off the top side of the corner, and especially with the draft of the cars in front of him, Carey's able to defend pretty well.
And even teammate David Edwards there, he's up 2 positions up to 6, so he's not let Malarkey and Smirl get away. Smirl has made the pass on the bottom. This is interesting though, Brandon. How is that? Oh, Upbrook almost loses it on the 16 there, hugging that seam. If they're a little bit loose, hugging that seam, it can definitely upset that race car. A great save for him. That's going to slide him now back to the 6th position as his teammate Edwards up to 5th. Smirl out front. Malarkey back to 3rd. Already some big moves throughout this whole entire field. Very close to the wall even for our leaders there. But I got to commend iRacing for this racetrack here, and also got to commend the league for picking this as their championship race because this may not be one of my favorite racetracks, but the show it puts on and the racing it does, this is probably one of the best tracks you could pick to have a one final race for a championship.
Yeah, I mean, especially with what iRacing has done with the different track dynamics here lately, really working on it and trying to get it more refined and implement it to get better racing, and it's come a long way. I remember, it was very single file at a lot of tracks, and this one it's definitely become one that the grooves really widen out, and you have a lot of options. And as a driver, that's what you want to have to make passes. It's really difficult to try to, race somebody when there's only the one groove that you can choose from, and if they're in it, you're kind of just hoping for a mistake. Now you can set up runs, try to find grip elsewhere, and like you said, I mean, it just puts on a great race. And for the very last race of the season, the championship race, having those options, it ups everything that much more, and it just puts on a great show, and we're seeing it already.
That we are. Sproul's starting to pull a little gap there on Gaudio. He's continuing to stick to the bottom. So same with David Edwards, same with Matt Upbrook. While Malarkey, he's continuing to flirt with that high line, though. He's dropping backwards, but I'm wondering, will that start to come back to that 73 as they run that top side? That's the big question, I think, in a lot of our minds here. We'll have to see as this continues on through lap 8 here. Chris Morrow out front. David Edwards there in the 15 trying to work his way forward with teammate Matt Upbrook.
Yeah, Upbrook now in 6th position, just trying to bide his time, especially, cool off that right rear tire after the big slide that he had. And, again, to these guys that are running the bottom, if you are patient with it, you can still hold ground on the guys that are getting the big run off the top. But depending on how you run it, I mean, if you're really charging and being aggressive into the corner, you're going to burn up your right front pretty quickly, and it's going to hinder you a lot later on. You're going to have to move up with everybody else. But the guys that are already up top, it's going to be really hard once they've worn in their right rear with how loose it is to make the bottom lane work. It's just going to be too loose for them later on. And you kind of have to commit once you've made the decision. I'm going to run the top here on the short run. You're almost stuck there for the rest of the run because the car's just not going to feel good anywhere else.
And right now, I just thought back to something for Chris Moreau out front. I believe he's on vacation, right? Racing on a laptop this week. So he had to do the portable racing rig this week. I think even one of his teammates helped ship him out a play seat to help out with that. So, well, that's what you call teammates right there, man. They shipping you out stuff to help you run in your championship race. And tell you what, if he's doing that right now, if that's what's going on, he's performing very well on vacation.
Yeah, that'd be one way to top off a vacation. Go out and enjoy yourself and relax, but also win a championship while you're doing it. And, talked about it. I did see the picture of that play seat all set up, I believe, in his hotel room, and looked pretty nifty. Might have to get me one of those, be able to not have to worry about missing any races, having to go anywhere. Just lug that thing around in the back of the car. Sounds pretty good to me.
Man, riding on board now with Malarkey. Look, he's switched down to the bottom. He's decided to change his lineup. So maybe what we heard the guys talking about the top line being the line to beat, maybe Chris Morrow has gone here and showed, no, I got the bottom line figured out, guys.
Yeah, I think, especially on the short run, the high side is definitely going to be preferred. But as the run goes on, I mean, guys that are holding the bottom are finding a considerable amount of speed here. David Edwards now closed in on Stephen Carey, trying to make that pass work, and also noticing some things that some guys on the bottom are doing a little bit different than other guys on the bottom. It's how quickly they start to make that sweep up toward the wall on the exit of the corner. David Edwards keeping it pinched down pretty far all the way onto the straightaway and not letting it really float up and use the whole track there. And I think that's just due to how long he's really waiting to start getting back to the throttle, whereas Smerol is just a little bit quicker back to the top, floating out to the wall than that of the 15 and even the 16 behind David Edwards.
Yeah, I think Smerol, he's kind of thrown the gauntlet down here in this first 13 laps. He's saying, guys, I'm showing you what I got. Now come out here and chase me down. I'm wondering, if he's not burning his stuff up and he's pacing himself doing this, he's going to be in a good position once this all ends up. But can't forget what these guys are winning tonight. A lot on the line. Champion here tonight, it's going to get $200 gift card for sim racing equipment. So that's going to be awesome. You get $200 to be able to use on some sim racing equipment of your choice. ButtKicker Gamer 2. So shout out to ButtKicker, get a sponsor here, Freaky Fast and the Evolution Racing League. And then $50 in cash. So, man, what a combination of gifts there they got going on for the champion. And then the 17th spot, like you alluded to there, Brandon, they also get a ButtKicker Gamer 2 and $50 cash. So that's a great prize there for 17th.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot to race for, and I tell you, $200 for sim equipment. I can think of some pretty good ways that I'd use $200. There's an F1 wheel that I'm needing here, so I can have some teammates stop cheating and running a little bit quicker than me. But I have to work on that, and maybe need to get in with these guys and see if I can get that championship prize, because that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, $200 with some sim racing. Definitely, that's exactly what went through my head, Brandon. I was like, ooh, $200 of sim racing equipment. I can think of some pretty cool things that you could get there. So awesome to see here at the Evolution Racing League. What great prizes they give out, not only to the ARCA Series champion, but their Cup Series champion, who don't miss out on that later tonight at 9:15 Eastern. We'll be going live there, and we'll be talking to all 4 of their championship competitors before that race kicks off. So, man, what a race we got there. 3 teammates and one low man going up against them. So it's going to be fun to watch all that play out. At the moment, though, your top 4 in the championship are located all in the top 5. Only man that's in between them is that number 3 Anthony Gaudio. But I can tell you one car I see starting to make a charge forward. The 15 David Edwards here on the long run. That car is starting to put down some of the best lap times.
Well, Zach, we ran a practice race with these guys before the race even started, or the season even started, rather back in January, and he was really strong here. Like you said, finished second during their race at the start of the season to Chris Roll. We know he has pace here, and he's definitely showing it. I've been keeping a close eye on the lap times. Last time by, he was 4/10 quicker than our leader, David Edwards, making a very strong charge right now. And you talk about the 3 of Anthony Gaudio. I mean, he's one of those guys that everybody thought was going to be right here in the position to battle with the championship for. Unfortunately, got knocked out of the playoffs, but it's showing, and ever since that race, he has been showing week in and week out that he absolutely deserved to be there, and he's still up here contending with him. You just got to think, all the fans, and including Anthony himself, what might have been had things been a bit different earlier on in the playoffs.
And he gets the lead. So Gaudio to the lead. He says, I'm playing spoiler tonight, boys, in that number 3 machine. What a scheme to do it in, too. That black number 3 there as Malarkey works the top side. Edwards, though, really coming into the picture here. Same with Matt Upbrook, though. Our top 4 all nose to tail here on lap 19 of 75. This is what we all came here to see.
Yeah, I'm most impressed, I think, with Upbrook after having that big slide. He's a little bit farther back than the rest of the top 4 here, but still hanging right on with his teammate, being able to follow him through traffic, get around Stephen Carey, and really not lose too much time while doing that, and kind of mimicking what his teammate's doing, whereas you see the MR73 guys kind of have varying lines. Looks like Chris Roll taking the middle, running that bottom seam right on the middle, and Malarkey, still committed to the high side. David Edwards now gotten to the inside of the 73, trying to make that pass.
And that's, what's making it tough is Malarkey's line. If he was running Smirol's line, I don't think it would. I think David Edwards has got enough speed off exit to make a pass on someone running a little bit lower. But the thing is, Malarkey is doing just enough to carry enough speed here to where he stays right on the quarter panel, and Edwards can't close it off, but he does that time clear him. And Malarkey looks to go to the inside here, but Edwards covers it off. What a move. David Edwards going forward here, and now he's going to try to take over Christopher Smirol's spot. Edwards looking to take grips of that championship here.
Now David Edwards to the lead of the championship 4 here. Knocked off both the 14 and the 73 really in one lap, and still turning really quick lap times. Last time by a 34:27 to our leader, Anthony Gaudio's 34:43. Chris Roll in 3rd place, he ran a 34:71. Malarkey seems to be the quickest of those 2 cars, but Matt Upbrook last time by just a 10th slower than his teammate. So the 15 and the 16 both having a tremendous amount of speed here.
Oh, and almost 3 wide for that 3rd spot there. Malarkey comes off the top. Smirol slides back to 4th. Here comes Upbrook. A little bit of a block. Upbrook now to the inside here. Smirol's just trying to hang on. I don't know if he's burned his stuff up there, Brandon. I think he went out there, like I said, if he was pacing himself earlier and had that type of pace, then these guys are going to be in trouble. But it looks to be that he used that tire up. Now Edwards taking a charge for Gaudio. I mean, Edwards, he doesn't want to go out here and get second and win the championship. He wants to go out here and win this race and the championship.
Well, I mean, it's a statement to come out and not only, win the championship just by virtue of finishing ahead of the other 3 competitors in the Final 4, but also winning the race. But you've also got to remember, he doesn't need to. He doesn't, if it's looking risky, he's going to be perfectly content to sit here and ride around in 2nd place and get that championship. Like you said, still wants to win. You want to win every race you start. But there's a big picture here, and that is the championship.
That is the big picture we're all looking at right now. And We're looking at Gaudio. He had a moment off of 2, almost lost the rear of that car, almost wrecked it. 14, race winner here from earlier in the season. He is, sorry, I got a little bit confused. That is 14 of Chris Sproul. I'm getting information up here, and my brain was going sideways. But yeah, the 14 of Sproul here was a little bit loose there, and he's falling back, man. This is unfortunate for our past race winner here at Homestead.
Yeah, definitely going to have to make some driver adjustments and, you know, reevaluate his line and exactly what type of pace he wants to set once they hit pit road and get a fresh set of tires. Just looking at the lap times, we can see what they are when they come across the line now, exactly how far off Chris Sproul is going to be from this front group here. Fastest of the front 4, Matt Upbrook with a 34.4 to Chris Sproul's 34.8. So about 4/10 off from the quickest of the front 4 right now, but he's only about a 10th off of what our leader Anthony Gaudio and David Edwards are running. So it's not too far off of from what the rest of these guys are running, but Matt Upbrook's definitely saved maybe a little bit more than his teammate at this point.
This is getting fun to watch. Battle for the lead, battle for third everywhere. Cars racing. We got Stephen Carey back there racing the lap car. Jake Shea, I believe, in the 77 machine. Or sorry, that's Matthew Dude in the 55 machine. But you see Gaudio taking the line away from Edwards. Edwards has been able to do all this on the bottom. Malarkey there still running the top in third. Upbrook, he's trying to get by. And it's, you know, it's tough to pass somebody when they run the top proficiently like Malarkey does.
Yeah, but you saw once David Edwards was able to slide up in front of Malarkey on the exit of turn 2, Malarkey had the run. He could have gone to the inside. But I think just because he's been committed to it so much, the car's not going to handle the way he wants it to. He could have taken it to the inside and gotten to the bottom of Edwards, but I don't think he felt he had the grip to make the charge there. Elected to just lift and ride behind him, and now they've kind of run away from him just a little bit, but still committed to the high side. And I think the more these tires wear in, I think the top's going to come back in. That exit speed of the corner that you're carrying with, you know, running the wall up there, it's going to start paying off. Especially once maybe guys start sliding just a little bit, getting over those seams, running the lower lines. It's going to pay off, and he's starting to slowly reel it in, looking at it across the line this time, seeing what their lap times are going to be. He was quicker than the 2 ahead of him, so Malarkey kind of having a resurgence at this point in the race.
You know, and it's just bouncing back and forth between these top 4 contenders and Gaudio. He's been able to keep himself there. Same with Carey. He's not too far behind Sproul. But our top 6 have just driven away. Brian Fine about 8.6 seconds back from this battle back up here. But, you know, if you're Edwards here, you're battling hard trying to take the lead from Gaudio. But at the same time, are you burning your tires up here, letting these other guys get closer? It's a tough game to play here, him running the bottom with someone on his door on the outside. But I think he's going to clear this time, Brandon.
It looks like you're going to be able to slide up in front of Gaudio here. Mike shut the door. He leaves the lane open to allow Gaudio to use his run. Does not want to give up the inside. David Edwards very committed to running the bottom, and I think, you know, you talked about it, maybe he's burning this stuff up trying to make this pass. I'm not so sure. He's doing exactly what he's been doing all, you know, ever since the start of this race, really, and able to now make the pass pretty handedly over the 3 of Anthony Gaudio. I think it's just a move. He's trying to put cars between himself and Malarkey. Gaudio was running the line that Malarkey has been running, and Malarkey or Gaudio were going to have to try up a different line. Now Gaudio going to the inside, now trying to follow Edwards, and it worked very well. Able to pull up to the back bumper. Looked like Edwards got just a little bit loose on the exit of the corner. Looks to the inside here. Edwards left it open, sailed it in though to try to cover this off. And that's going to allow Malarkey to kind of close in just a little bit. Last time by, he was a tenth slower than Edwards. We'll have to see what it is this time across the line.
And David Edwards, though, trying to set sail here with Anthony Gaudio on his back bumper here as he's made the pass now. Got it done. Looking himself into maybe the sunset or a championship. That's what's on his mind. Upbrook, though, he's taking all types of looks at the back bumper of Malarkey, who's trying to hold off Matt Upbrook. And I'll tell you what, did Sproul hit pit road? Yes, he did hit pit road on lap 32.
Sproul on pit road, Brian Fine and Justin Hendry following as well. Sproul down to the 10th position. May go a lap down here, but should be able to get that back with the fresh tires. You got to wonder how much of an undercut this is going to be. I was just thinking we're getting close to that halfway point. When do these guys decide to pull the trigger and come down pit road here? And I think, you know, they were talking about it in our interview with them. everybody was looking for that undercut, and somebody said, I'm not sure exactly who, whoever hit pit road first, they were going to come down the very next lap. We're going to have to see if they in fact do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Edwards was the one who said, if I see what he up pit, I'm going to the next lap. We'll see if he does it here. Lap 33. I just think that's too early to pit. I just do. And, you know, the thing is, if this race plays green, that's not going to be a winning strategy, in my opinion, for Smerol. He's got to go even longer than he did on that first end. He was kind of struggling there at the end. You know, I think this is a last-ditch effort for him to play some type of strategy, get some track position, maybe catch a caution through this sequence, and maybe he'll have the track position to where he can come and get some more tires. And then you saw his pace at the beginning of the run. He's got fantastic short-run pace. If he get a caution, he'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, I think this is just a strategy out of necessity for the 14 of Chris Smerol. I mean, he was struggling so much on those tires. He'd burn them up on the short run with that incredible short run pace that he had here. He couldn't afford to let them get too far ahead, had to go with the severe undercut here. And if they get this caution, which is not likely, I mean, the majority of the field very strung out here, not too many guys running side by side, not much risk of anybody wrecking other than, you know, a single car mistake. It's going to be a tall task, but it's kind of the only hand he has at this point. And like you said, if they get that caution and it all comes around for him, we're going to have to see, but it's not looking too good right now for the 14.
And at the moment, looking at Steve Potter in at 94. He's in the 5th position here as he'll be looking to come down pit road as James Wright will be going by. Wright's already hit pit road in that 8 machine. Now here comes Potter. It looks like Shea will follow him down in the 77. Now Richard Gonzalez in the 5th position now. He's yet to pit about 20 seconds back from our leader.
And it looks like Malarkey going to be hitting pit road from the 4th position. So the MR73 teammates have now made their pit stops. Edwards and Upbrook staying out on track here. Going to have to see when they hit pit road. I thought for sure Upbrook was going to hit last time. Decided to stay out with his teammate and with Gaudio. Richard Gonzalez looks like he's going to cycle ahead to the 5th position. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. going to be cycling up as well.
We'll see who decides to hit pit road next. Looking at David Edwards, I was about to say, I think he'll be coming to the next lap. Yes, he does. Here comes Gaudio with him. Here comes Upbrook also. Nobody can speed here, though. 50 mile an hour down here on pit road, and it looks like all of them did a great job to get their race car slowed down.
Oh, yeah, they definitely went under. No risk of speeding whatsoever. I'm pretty sure that I saw Upbrook hit pit road at about 45.
And you got to give credit to Upbrook. He gained, well, I think, the most time out of everybody and all that. And Edwards, he slides through his box. I think Upbrook's going to take position from him.
We'll have to see here. Drop the right sides on the 15. Up go the left sides. And Upbrook's still not out of his box yet. Now, oh, Edwards still gets out ahead, and just even with Gaudio, going to be able to get the position on the exit of pit road here. Stephen Carey, though, able to make that pass now to the lead for the 83. Gonna have to see where these guys cycle out now after these pit stops.
I tell you what, this is not terrible for Upbrook because personally, I mean, right there still with his teammate of David Edwards, not too far behind. And Edwards is going to have to go through Malarkey and Smerol still. So those guys could cause him a little bit more issues. You know, that those are going to be the guys racing for the championship. They're not going to let him by for nothing. So if Matt Upbrook just can pace himself right here and get to him by the time he needs to, he may have more stuff by the time it's there. We could see a battle for the win here for the championship between Donkey Punch Racing.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of time left in this race. You see the gap on the track, and as a driver, you got to tell yourself, you know, just hit your marks, run your pace. You had great long run pace. If you're aware that you had great long run pace, you don't need to go ahead and try to grab too much here and really hinder that long run pace. You're going to be able to reel them in here, especially with the traffic you guys are going to battle. Just take your time, and maybe you still got one extra set. You still got great track position. If there is a caution, worry about your short run pace then. Go out and just use that setup for all you can. Just got to be patient. And Edwards now looks like he's passing some lap traffic here, and Chris Smerol able to cycle up to second, and he's got a pretty good gap on his teammate Justin Malarkey, even with having slightly older tires. Going to look at the pit time here. what lap these guys decided to come in. Chris Roll on lap 31, Malarkey on 36, Edwards and Upbrook on 37. So a lap difference between Malarkey and 15 and 16, but it's 5 lap difference between everybody else and Chris Roll. It's just how well can the 14 hold on? Has he been managing his tires since he made his pit stop? Is he going to be able to hold them off for just long enough?
Tell you the other interesting thing I'm seeing is Upbrook has to he's really lost a lot of time. I mean, he had a tough time getting by Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. There was almost actually an incident between him and 48. But man, I tell you what, he lost a good bit of time there to his teammate Edwards. He's upwards of about 3 seconds almost back now.
And it looked like looks like Matt Upbrook's struggling with the newer tires here. Even on the bottom, just looking very, very loose for the 16, and I think that's going to be where a majority of the time is being lost. Edwards seems like he's running the middle group, not really going all the way down to the very bottom of the track until the late exit of the corner. Might be looking for some type of grip there. Maybe the track's changed up. Have to look at the track temp right here. 73-degree track temp, so very cold. Should have a lot of grip, but having more speed, the tires are going to be even more on that edge of giving up with that load of the car in the corner. So it's struggling for the grip right now, looks like, especially for the 16.
Well, one of the interesting things I'm looking at too is, you know, the gap that he built to Gaudio. Also, did he push too hard? You know, we're watching Edwards now. He's kind of backed his pace down, looking at the lap times, at least compared to Malarkey ahead and Smirol ahead. He's kind of matching Smirol, and Malarkey's a good bit quicker, while Gaudio is about 2/10 quicker than Edwards, and same with Upbrook, about 4/10 quicker. So it's like Edwards kind of went out there, got a little gap, and then he's kind of set it in cruise control mode, and is I don't know if he's trying to break the draft that far back. I don't know what. He's doing a little swerving on the straightaway. Maybe he saw a pothole.
That old track surface, built in, I think, 95, and I don't think it's been repaved since then. So, you know, track might be coming up. You might be seeing something out there.
Never want to see that. And luckily, old iRacing, we don't have those issues. So we don't have to worry about tracks tearing up or tearing race cars up.
What could you imagine?
Never know.
I'd be mad if I'm leading a race and get a big chunk of concrete because the sim decided, oh man, track's old. We want to put something through your grill.
And next, here comes the rain, like our producer just said. So we'll see what the future tells for there. But Stephen Carey out front as Smirol, he's going to look to be taking that position. Carey did the major undercut, though, on these guys.
Yeah, Carey pitting a lap before Smirol, and Smirol's been able to reel him in now. Last time by, pretty even on lap time. Smirol just 400ths quicker than the 83, and looks like Carey going all the way to the bottom here. Smirol about half a car up, able to generate just a little bit more of a run on the exit, sweeps it all the way out to the wall. It's a little bit, just a little bit lap by lap. The thing is, to make the pass, you're going to need a good bit right when you get next to him. And don't know about Carey, where his preferred lane has been all race here. It looks like Smirol. Oh, Carey gets loose, and Smirol gets into him.
Oh, yellow is out. Oh, man, they don't get no damage from that.
A little bit of paint on the nose of the 14, scuffed up, but the nose still looks very clean. The thing is now, we're going to have, I mean, a relatively short run here till the end. Lap 47, man, I think you have to put on the tires here.
I'm putting the tires on. I'm taking my shots here. I'm gambling. This is your shot to win the championship right here. You can't save a set of tires and no caution come out. You know, you will be so mad at yourself if you don't do that. You have to come down, put 4 tires and fuel in this thing, and go out here and drive the wheels off of it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's been so green all the way up to this point in the race. This is really the only time it's even been close to having a caution so far this race. You can't bank on the fact that you're going to get another one and try to save here. Everybody, I think all of the top 4 or championship 4, they're going to come in and put the tires on, and you've got to have it in the back of your mind. You may need to manage because there might be another restart. But at the same time, this is probably going to go green. man, Chris Smerol, I think this is kind of working in his favor with the short run.
Yeah, this is what he wants to see, especially because he lost no track position there, guys. Him, Kerry go around. They get back up front. Now they're going to get 4 tires and fuel, and Kerry's going to be someone to worry about too, though, because Kerry has got great pace at these mile and a halves.
Yeah, I mean, that it's pretty amazing that neither of them lost track position with that incident. That was a very mutually beneficial caution, I think, but for the 83 and the 14.
As it looks like Shea is the only driver to stay out. Malarkey off pit road first. Oh no, it was Kerry. It was a different line. Yeah, different line. Well, how? I don't know.
Well, they'd say races can be won and lost on pit road, and that coming out ahead of your competition right here could be a pretty deciding factor. I mean, especially if you're somebody like Malarkey, who is very committed to the high side. If you have somebody come out ahead of you that is also committed to it, it's going to be very difficult to make that pass.
That it is. And going back and looking at that, what a job by Justin Malarkey. He was behind both Kerry and Smerol on pit road there, and he beat them both out. That was forever to have a good pit stop. That is the time to do it.
And I mean, looking at the time, you've got Kerry that had a 14.98 second pit stop, Malarkey with a 14.7, David Edwards with a 14.7 flat, Malarkey's 14.78. So David Edwards really putting his crew to work on pit road, coming out with the quickest pit stop out of the whole field.
And I tell you what, though, this is going to be interesting with their teammate, though. Also, Jacob Shea from MR73, teammate of Malarkey and Smerol. Going to restart here up front. Upbrook, he's going to fall all the way back to 7th. That's going to be unfortunate for him. Technically, it should be 6th if the 77 did stay out, which I think he'll be swallowed up pretty quickly here. As what lap did he pit on? It looks like about 35. So, yeah, it's pretty old tires on that 77 machine.
Yeah, you just gotta hope if you're Malarkey or Edwards or Smerol up here, if you're Malarkey or Smerol, you're just hoping your teammate is one, he's not gonna have a problem and potentially cause a wreck that you're not able to avoid, but also, maybe something here. If he sees the 15 coming, just make it a little bit difficult. You don't need to block him all the way to the grass or, just try to stuff him in the fence or anything, but take away his line. Make him run somewhere that he's not been wanting to run. Just stick to the bottom, make him run the middle, and see if that hinders him just a little bit, and just do anything that you can to give a little bit of a benefit to your team, but hopefully not to the detriment of the 15.
This is going to be fun to watch. Do not miss out here, ladies and gentlemen. As, we're going to have 25 laps for a championship. just think of their position here, Brad. I mean, you got 25 laps to go out here and beat 3 other guys. This has got to be nerve-wracking.
Well, I've never blown a tire in 25 laps, but I think that's what I'm going to be trying to do if I'm one of these guys here.
I think that's going to be the goal of the whole crowd here. Use what you got because you ain't got no more and only a limited amount of time to use it. Thank you all for tuning in here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's been a special season and a special night. If you haven't yet, hit that like button and that subscribe button and the bell for notifications as we get ready to go back green flag racing. There it is, green flag back in the air. Malarkey, great start from the top, but I think he had to check up there a little bit not to beat the 77 to the line. It seems like he did, or he either missed a shift because, man, that could have been detrimental there as he checked up there side by side with his teammate, though, for the lead. Here comes Kerry on the bottom. It's going to be 3 wide.
3 wide out of turn 2, and Smerol now going to fill the gap to the high side. Gaudio just behind him. Kerry stuck on the bottom. Now David Edwards making the move to the inside of Malarkey. Malarkey going to cover off, run the bottom here, and see if he can find some more speed that he gave up a little bit earlier in this run.
Coming to 23 to go. Sparrow with the big move. He's going to be looking for third here to put the MR73 sandwich in between the Donkey Punch Racing 15.
And Matt Upbrook on the bottom underneath Anthony Gaudio back there in the 6th position, trying to follow. Smarol to the front, but not quite working. The top side still just so good with these fresh tires.
Look at this. Warwick Gaudio in the 3. 98 of Brian Fine. Stephen Carey in the 83. All three non-playoff contenders, but battling hard for this race. What a great battle we got with 22 to go. Malarkey still hanging on to it out front. Smarol was not able to get around Carey. I think Upbrook trying to work his way around the 3 of Gaudio. He hasn't got that done yet here as we race down the back straightaway.
Brian Fine now going to the outside of Upbrook. Gaudio making the move now to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get to the inside of Chris Smarol, and Smarol blinks. Ooh, that was... Oh, Fine! Oh, Fine wrecks!
And huge collision. Caution is out on the racetrack. Second caution of the night brought to you by ORR Nissan Central. And that is sent Brian Fine on his roof. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, David Edwards, he saw his life flash before his eyes, too. He was so close to the wall. Brian Fine going to have to take a tow there, but I'm thinking the 28 Justin Hendry, also the other driver to take the hit there. So, man, we'll go back here on the freaky fast replay. See what happens here is you see that 98 lose the rear end here, trying to save it, going to recorrect back to the right. And I think it's going to take off from there. Going to pretty much put him into a dead stop, head, nose, right into the wall. And here's Justin Hendry, nowhere to go in the smoke. And you're going to watch here on board for the 28. Boom. He is going to pretty much monster truck the 98 right out the way. And that's going to put a hurt to both of those drivers tonight.
Well, that right there is a perfect visualization of what we talk about when we say why you don't bump draft with these cars. The nose being like a wedge and wedged right underneath the 98 and turned him over like that. And Brian Fine is he's wondering if he's turtly enough for the Turtle Club, upside down on his lid there on the front stretch.
Yeah, hard collision there to bring out the second caution. I tell you what, Jacob Shane, the 77, he could come down and get some tires on. I believe because he should have a set. And then looks like Stephen Carey's been assessed a penalty for EOL, so I'm not sure what.
That was by request.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So he wanted to get out of the battle up here. What a gentleman that is.
Yeah, he said, man, can I get an EOL? I don't want to be up here. I mean, he wants to be up there, but he doesn't. He said he didn't need to be up there battling with those guys and potentially causing them a problem. Being a gentleman and a scholar and letting these guys race it out and not trying to cause them any problems.
Well, thank you all again for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to call the action here tonight. We've had so much chatting out in chat, and that's what we love to see. But again, like I said, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, go ahead and hit that. Hit that subscribe and bell notification button because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight could be your time to stay in tune here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting and see what we have for you each and every night here live in 1440p action.
We got Pim Luth, Cody Dorsey, Trevor Massetti, one of our Cup regulars that's going to be racing here later on tonight. Robin Davis, Richard Gonzalez, Ryan Bean, another one of the Cup regulars. Benjamin Harris out there. Thank you guys for coming in. Also Nate Malarkey and 213 Gaming. So nice to see everybody out there. And again, hit that follow and notification bell. I want to see 1,000.
We definitely want to see that happen for sure. Now we continue to pace here. Got to think about the 77 a little bit. He's I think yes he did. He came down and got his tires, so good on him to get his last set there to set him up with a little bit of fresh tires. Could we see Jake Shane at 77 be a factor here coming down to the end?
Well, I mean that's kind of what the strategy would be. It's not going to be too much of an advantage, especially with this cooldown period. And these guys, they were battling hard, but it wasn't that many laps. And with the track being as cold as it is, it's going to be very easy for these tires to cool back off. definitely going to be a bit of an advantage. But enough to go out and win this thing with the tire difference right now, I don't think so. But definitely setting himself up for a good finish. And I think Jake O'Shea definitely needs one. Had a really up and down season so far since he's joined the league.
Yeah, it's really been up and down. It'd be good to see him get a great finish here to end it all out here. Remember, 30 weeks, man. That is the big number because of these 30 starts for these guys out here. A lot of them. That is great commitment, not only, but great also work from the league here at the Evolution Racing League. So congrats to them for putting on one heck of a season, and it's been great to be a part of it as we all close it out here tonight and crown 2 champions. And that's personally one of my favorite things to do is crown champions.
Well, Zach, you have to think 30 weeks for the ARC Evolution Series, 30 weeks for the RSR Cup Series. That is 60 broadcasts for us. That's a lot of broadcasts.
We've been saying a lot of names this season on Tuesday night. It has been a pleasure to call all that action here as we go into winter break after tonight. But again, thank you all. But looks like pace car lights are off. We'll be taking 16 to go with Justin Malarkey out front, David Edwards in second, Chris Morrell third, Anthony Gaudio fourth, Matt Upbrook fifth. And that's 4 of your championship contenders there in the top 5. Let's see how it all plays out here. It's going to be 16 to go, 16 to go for a championship. Ooh, my nerves are really shot for these guys.
Yeah, this is extremely nerve-wracking. I mean, especially if you're Gaudio up here trying to battle. You know you've got the pace, but just like, man, I hope I don't wreck anybody. I hope I don't make a mistake. Stephen Carey decided he wasn't going to even present that opportunity. But, man, they're all lined up now, getting ready to go back green, and this could be the last restart. I think you got to get whatever you can get here.
Pace car's in, looking for the green flag. There it is. Barney is off and a waving it. Justin Malarkey, though, what a start for him. He's able to get himself clear of Edwards, slide down to the bottom in front of that 15. Now Smarroll working the bottom on Gaudio. Can he get it done? You know, Gaudio, he's going to fight tooth and nail for this, man. He had every right to be in this top 4 also. With how much pace he showed this season, he thinks he wants to go out here and end this thing with a win.
That's exactly right. I think Gaudio is in the mindset that he is one of the championship drivers out here and really showing, man, if I was in this thing, I would have won it. And just trying right now to do what he can to get to the front. Upbrook, though, not making it easy, and looks like Gaudio giving away. Now our top 4, championship 4, all 1, 2, 3, 4 here gonna battle it out as the laps are winding down.
Battle for the lead. David Edwards looks to make position. Here comes Sparrow. He's got to run down the back straightaway. Man, oh man, he had a chance there to make something happen. Possibly Edwards now back to the bottom. Malarkey up top. He pulls even with him through the corner. Can he get the run off? He might actually almost be able to clear. No, he can't. Now side by side, dead even. This is where Edwards has got to pounce. Malarkey can't give too much room. I think he's given too much.
Yeah, just a little bit too high in the corner, opening up the exit there. You see how much ground David Edwards is able to gain. The run off the corner is great. Malarkey gonna go look to the inside. Edwards blocks, though, not wanting to give up the bottom. I think Malarkey now, yes, to the middle lane here, trying not to give too much room, not allow him to clear, but washes up the racetrack, gets his tires over the seam, loses a little bit of grip. Edwards to the lead.
13 laps to go. David Edwards in the 15. 6 wins this season, trying to make it 7. And add a championship onto that. Here comes Christopher Schmerol battling teammate Malarkey. Malarkey working that top group. He gets a little bit loose. He's going to lose ground. Slide him back to 3rd. Here comes Upbrook for 4th.
Upbrook got a little loose at almost the exact same time as the 73. These two trying to battle it out. Upbrook saying that he felt like it was going to take him having to win this race. But at the position they're in, every single one of them have to nearly win this. As Upbrook gets loose again, opens the door for Gaudio to now get to the outside and follow Justin Malarkey, get the tow from him to try to make the pass on the 16.
And with 12 to go, you can see here still heating up for 3rd. Oh, Upbrook makes a big slide back as Malarkey's going to hang on in that spot. Sparrow, another big slide off of 2. That lets Edwards open up the gap. You just seen that one for him. Wow, what a slide for the 14. He's going to slide back into the clutches of Malarkey and them. So Edwards, though, with 12 to go, looking to drive off into the lights here. Man, Edwards looking very strong on that very bottom.
He has been the entire race, just so committed to it, and he's pulled it off flawlessly. He's not too aggressive getting into the corner. He's not too aggressive getting back to the throttle. He has run a perfect line, as perfect as you could ask for here at Homestead, making that bottom work. And just behind them, Anthony Gaudio able to make the pass on Malarkey. Malarkey going to pull the crossover now back to the inside of the 3.
With 11 to go. Becoming a 10 to go this time. These will be the 10 most important laps of the season for the 15 of David Edwards, the 14 Chris Morrell, the 73 of Justin Malarkey, and the 16 of Matt Upbrook. But what Edwards doesn't want to see out front is any type of yellow flag that would bring this thing back to a standstill here. Is Gaudio looking to take third. I don't know if Smurl can do it. He's shown the pace he had earlier on the short run. He started to close back up as he got loose when he got closer. Can Smurl get it done? Man, this is going to be so tough for him in the 14.
Well, Edwards had a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 2 last time, a little bobble, and that allowed Chris Smurl to really close in here. Now within about a car length of the 15, trying to track him down. We'll see. He's running just a little bit wider of a line here. He's trying to stick to that middle, now cutting down to the bottom. Not going to get a great run off the corner, but the draft is going to help pull him along an inch closer and closer to the 15.
Can he do it here? We're coming to 8 to go this next time by. They've started to pull the gap to the rest of their 2 contenders as Gaudio is now up to 3rd. Here comes Smurl. Big move. He's going to be looking for something here down the front straightaway. 8 to go. What does Edwards do? He looks to cover it off. He's got Edwards in the mirror, though. That's the big key here.
Yeah, and I've noticed Edwards talked about how flawlessly he was running that inside line. Ever since Smurl has gotten a little bit closer, Edwards has been driving a little bit harder. Seems like he's getting back to the throttle a little bit sooner than he's been all night, and it's costing him just a little bit of speed. And that constant pressure in the rearview mirror of the 15 might be his worst enemy right now.
And it looks like he's had a little bit of room to breathe here with 7 to go. Edwards opens up 2 car lengths of a gap back to Chris Smurl. Smurl doing everything in his power to try to get done. Malarkey in the 73 into the wall. He's going to go backwards back to the 5th position. That puts Upbrook up to 3rd or 4th.
Well, Upbrook, looking at the times, I mean, Upbrook and Edwards running almost identical lap times, and they are the quickest in the field right now. I think a little bit more time, Upbrook might have been able to get there. Maybe a restart might have something for his teammate. But this time across the line, again, 2/10 quicker for David Edwards than the 14 of Christopher Roll. Gaudio, though, almost matching lap times now with the 16 and the 15.
And with coming to 5 to go, man, the gap that Edwards is starting to open up here, Smurl is, I think he's used his stuff up here possibly, unless he's got some last-ditch effort here. We'll see what he does. He moves up to the higher groove there on that seam and try to get something to work, but I don't think that's going to be the spot for speed. That bottom lane has been the king tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe he was trying to cool off his tires now all the way to the severe outside here, but you see Gaudio just sail it in underneath of him here. Now Anthony Gaudio going to take over the 2nd position. Anthony Gaudio might have something to track down David Edwards here, but do you make the risk of trying to get that pass if you catch him? We're going to have to see.
Oh, this is gonna be this is interesting here. You know, did Smurl do this as a tactical thing? Does he know he has nothing left in the tank for that 15? He says, go up there and get him 3. Hopefully, you can get side by side. I might be able to catch up if y'all battle. But if I'm Edwards, you gotta let him go if he gets close and there's a gap. I mean, oh, this is so tough here with 4 to go. Edwards ain't even looking in his mirror, though. I can tell you that much as a driver. He is looking straight forward, just trying to hit his marks every single lap here. And he's not going to stop till he sees a checkered flag.
Yeah, if you're David Edwards right now, you are turning off your black box, turning off your delta, just nothing that you're going to need to be looking at except straight out the windshield here. And he may even turn a couple more laps just to make sure that he is absolutely done with this thing after the checkered flag flies. And he's put on, I mean, he's worked the bottom masterfully. And I talked about it. I think that was where you were going to have to run to make passes, be patient, and it's paid off magnificently for the 15.
Coming to 2 to go. David Edwards opened the season as our Daytona winner. Can he close it out here at the Homestead Miami Seal? What a slide, though. Big slide here coming to 2 to go. That's letting the gap close down. Here comes Gaudio on the 3. Does he try to make the move? Here he comes to the bottom. What does Edwards do? He lets him go for this first position. Now he's going to try to come back down and cut underneath of him. Here comes Smirol, though. With 2 to go, Smirol's eyes has got to be growing.
Yeah, that was really what Smirol wanted to see, and this is cut into that gap huge. About 3 car lengths between the 15 and the 14, and now the dirty air from the 3 on the nose of the 15 going to be slowing him down even more.
Oh man, white flag brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. One final time for this season here in the ARCA Evolution Series. Who's going to be your champion? David Edwards in second, Chris Smirol in third, Anthony Gaudio out front. He is not racing for a championship, but the 2 behind him are Gaudio. Looking to close it out strong. He gets a little bit loose off of turn 2. Can he stack it up? We'll have to see down the back straight right now. Edwards looking for a race win. He says, I'm going for the win, guys. To the outside. One final corner. Gaudio, Edwards, Smirol. Edwards comes with the run off of the final corner. He's going for the race win. Gaudio is going to be able to hold it off, though, and be the Sheffield Graphics race winner. But David Edwards is going to be your 2021 ARCA Series champion. What a drive for that man. 6 wins to go along with it. He's had a hell of a season.
Yeah, I mean, David Edwards second, Chris Smirol third, Matt Upbrook fourth, Justin Malarkey fifth. I mean, our top 4, 2nd through 5th position. Anthony Gaudio, we talked about him being the spoiler. He pulled it off in a big way here at Homestead, and like I said, came out here with a statement saying, I should have been in this thing. I could have won the championship, and proved it to himself here. It was a fantastic drive for him, but congrats to David Edwards and really all of our championship for having as close as a race as it was. I mean, it was until the last 10 laps that we really had no idea who was going to win this thing.
The beauty of racing here. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. We'll see the celebrations here on the front straightaway, as not only do we have a race victory, we have a race champion here, as tonight the Homestead Miami Speedway, we are closing out our ARCA series here tonight. It is a special way. Look at the great part out there for the 15-3 as they celebrate their accomplishments they've made here in the final race of the season. 30 starts. David Edwards is going to go down the books as your champion. Congrats to him. We'll be back in a few moments before we get our champion, our race winner, and our third place man, Chris Smirol. So everybody tune back in, and we'll be back in a few moments. All right, we are back here, everybody, with our top 3 finishers from tonight's race. Not only that, but our second place man in the championship and our champion, as they finished 2nd and 3rd here tonight. First, let's bring up our second place man in points and our third place finisher here tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's hear from Chris Smirol. as he came up a little bit short for a championship. Hey, Chris, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I do. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, buddy. What a battle it was out there all tonight. You guys put on one championship battle, that's for sure, man. First before we get into the later parts of the race, kind of take us through the opening stages there. It seems like you were very willing to get out front there and lead laps. Was that kind of the plan? And did you not expect the tire fall off as much?
Well, it honestly wasn't tire fall off. I realized pretty quickly that I wasn't going to make it on a one stopper, so I had to start backing off and saving, and then there's just no chance. So I kind of realized late. I wish I would have hit it just a little bit earlier. Once I realized it, but so I ended up with Stephen Carey there on the roughly the same pit strategy with the two stopper and just hoping for the best. And then obviously I got into him, which is my fault, my mistake. And so yeah, apologies to him there for the spin. Ultimately, that was okay from a pit strategy perspective. It had put all of us on the same set of tires and fuel, which I guess is all right, but it still feels kind of, it's not the way you want to do it, obviously. But that was my thought process going into the first stage. Obviously, Justin Larkey, my teammate, just a master of fuel strategy, and he's like, I don't understand, man. I got a one stopper in the bag here. So we were not on the same page when it came to how to save fuel.
Yeah, that's very interesting. We didn't even, factor that in. So that's great info from you there, Chris, man. Yeah, we didn't even really think of that. We were worried that maybe it'd burn your tires up, man. So, wow, just crazy stuff playing out here tonight at Homestead, man. I tell you what, though, nonetheless, that battle down at the end, you got there, but it looked very hard to pass. Then you let Gaudio by. He passes Edwards. Your eyes got to get big when he gets loose there. I mean, take us through those final 10 laps, because that was nerve-wracking for us up here in the booth, not only.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll be honest. I was a little confused. I didn't realize that it was the higher of the four, finalists that would win. I figured if you won the race, obviously you're in. But if we didn't, then it would be based on points. I had a 6-point lead based on the last standings post. So my thought process at the time, and not that I could have held Gaudio back. I mean, he was obviously faster than me, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it real easy for him. He's clearly got pace. He's going to go pass Edwards. And then therefore, I'll retain the lead at the end of all of this because I've got a 6-point lead and I'm only one spot behind him. But apparently that's not that's not how it works. So maybe I would have pushed it a little bit harder there going into the end. But that's my mistake for not understanding what the rules were. But yeah, either way, at the end of the day, Gaudio had the pace to win. Anyway, got real close there to Edwards, and would have just been better to get out ahead of him either way. And I couldn't do it because he's just, he's a super fast driver. So that's the only real way that you can win this championship after 8 months is, bring it home in front of everybody else. And Edwards did that. So hats off to him.
Yeah, I gotta say hats off to him too, man. He was very, very strong tonight. So are you, man. It was fun to watch you guys battle throughout the whole entire season, back and forth. It's been a pleasure to call all the action this season, Chris. But before we let you get out here, man, actually, before you're going, are you on vacation? Because I think last week you confirmed that to us, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw in the Discord, I posted a little picture of the setup we got going here, but my family is actually up watching in a different room, and we were on vacation Seneca Lake there in the Finger Lakes, and I'll tell you what, man. I've said it once. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. I got the best family in the world. They let me bring everything. Jake Ashe, my teammate, sent me out his play seat challenge, and I got a little setup going here with my laptop, and we basically just were able to piece a little rig together for me so I could even participate in the first place. And obviously, with the family time, they were super supportive of allowing me to do that during our vacation. So just a little vignette of how awesome this league has been, how much we appreciate what you guys do. And it's sad to see it go.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, it's been a fun season nonetheless. It's so much like action just each and every week, back and forth. The competition has been on a different level, and you guys have always put on a show out there for us. So before we let you get out of here, man, anybody you want to send a shout out to help us make it happen on that 14 for this wonderful season you've had?
Man, just once again, my family, first and foremost, beginning and end. It starts and stops with them. So thank you. And I'm sorry, my children's great grandmothers watching, my grandma, my parents, my wife, my kids, they're all up there. So we'll go celebrate over a cold one here in the wine country of New York. Thanks to you guys once again. You've just been a big part of just something that we find really fun to do, and lets us get our competitive, juices flowing and all that. And you just add another extra level to it. Thanks to the admins, obviously, for putting this all on and giving us a place to come and race. All the other drivers, congratulations to David Edwards and Matt Outbrook and Justin Malarkey, obviously the other championship drivers. Anthony Gaudio, I mean, shoot, man, if he had been there all season, it would have been a no-brainer for him to bring it all home. Really fast driver. So it's just, and countless others, man. It's just been a lot of fun racing against these guys. So sorry I'm going a little bit long, but it's been a long season. And there's just a lot of people to thank, and they could become part of your lives. So really appreciate everybody who makes this happen.
Well, Chris, buddy, congrats on third here tonight. Congrats on second in the championship. It's been a pleasure to call the action this season, buddy. You have a wonderful vacation, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you soon again.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one.
All right, everybody. That was Chris Burrell, the 14 machine, able to bring home third tonight, second in the playoffs. Congrats to him. But now we'll move on to our race winner, Sheffield Graphics race winner, I must point out, of Anthony Gaudio. What a drive it was for this 3 machine. Let's hear from him about another win in the bag for Anthony. Hey, Anthony, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what, Anthony, man, you went out here tonight, set on pole, and won the race, man. Played spoiler to the championship, and man, the biggest thing I gotta ask about that is, do you say what if? Is that kind of one of them deals? Does this kind of make it a bittersweet win?
I'm gonna pull an Allmendinger moment right here. Let's go! But yeah, no, I wish I was in the playoffs right now, because I'd be sitting pretty. But you know what? Car was hella fast tonight, and I totally deserve this win. I've been hustling the last 6-7 weeks with just bad luck, and this just tops off my season, honestly. And I cannot freaking wait for next season.
Yeah, man, that's that's the next thing is like you said, it feels like the last 6 or 7 weeks, the speed has been there every single week. It just seems like some little nagging problem comes up and grabs you, man. It's just unfortunate, Is that the big thing that you put in the back of your mind at the end of the season is you've week in and week out almost been, especially I'd say in the final 10 races in this playoffs has been the driver to beat.
Yeah, I mean, for only having 21 starts, 6 wins, and 16 top fives, like, I deserve to be there. But you know what? Stuff happens. You push through it, and then you just take on that energy for next season.
Well, man, I tell you what, these
And
guys are out here. Man, like I said, I tell you what, man, it's really great to see you come out here at the victory, man. Because like I said, you definitely were one of the deserving ones to be with a shot at the championship here tonight. And that's the way the playoffs play sometimes, where you get knocked out, and it's the cruelty of it. But I tell you what, nonetheless, you've definitely shown what you got for these guys throughout the season, Anthony. It's been a pleasure to call all the action up here in the booth. Kind of take us through racing there at the end. Like you're racing. Chris and David, who are racing for a championship. I know you're being cautious around them, but you're also trying to go out and get the win. So kind of take us through your mindset there. I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, so late race, I think Steven in the 83, he had made a call on the radio saying he wanted an EOL. He just didn't want to get in trouble with the leaders and going for the championship. And I totally respect that. And it crossed my mind, but I'm here to race, and that's what I love to do. And I know it crossed my mind, like, just to, God forbid if I did wind up turning one of them. But you know what? I'm giving all I got. I'm racing them really clean. Those 4 guys were hella fast, and I love challenging them week in and week out. But yeah, the car came alive towards the late like 5 to go, and the car was on a rail, and it felt great, man. Honestly.
Well, man, it was fun to watch from up here in the booth. Congrats on the victory here tonight. Congrats on the 6 wins this season. That'll put you only one behind Christopher Rollman. So right there with David Edwards, also our champion with 6 wins. So that's a great number to have there in that 3 machine. It's been fun to watch you all season, Anthony. But before we let you get out of here and go get ready for the next racing you got, buddy, anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, huge shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. I love racing in this league. Mainly just to hear you guys call out our names. It's so cool. It's an honor. Another shout out to my team, JCR Racing, and David Edwards for winning this freaking thing, man. That's awesome. I'm super jealous. And shout out to my family for giving me the opportunity to do these on Tuesday nights. I got 2 kids. It's very hard, stressful times over here, but I'm glad to be in this. And my father for watching every damn race. It was his idea to run the black number 3 tonight. So thank you very much for that. Got the win, and that's it. And thanks to Ryan also for putting this great league together. And I can't wait to see where it takes me if I can, maybe possibly get into the Cup Series. I love racing ARCA, so either way, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man, definitely big things to come for you, man. I can tell you that much, Anthony. Congrats on the win here tonight, man. Made the black number 3 proud here tonight. Congrats on the win, buddy. Have a great all season, and hopefully we catch you soon again.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, guys, that was your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight for Homestead Miami Studio, Anthony Gaudio. But now we got the most special celebration of them all, the champion. And this is one of my favorite things to do as a commentator is crown champions, just because I've only had the experience to have won my whole entire racing career. And it's a special moment, and it's something you cherish for the rest of your life, even though it's on a sim. People will laugh at you for that possibly, but it is still very, very special, and nonetheless, a lot of prizes to go with it. Let's hear from your 2021 ARCA Series champion, David Edwards. David, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man? Hey, David. Oh,
I couldn't figure out which button it was.
This man's so excited, guys.
Which one is it?
Well, David, man, first off, I gotta say, congrats, buddy. You are the champion of the 2021 ARCA Evolution Series. I mean, just put that into words for us, man. We'll get into the racing because that was hard foot nonetheless. But man, just put that into words what it feels like to be a champion.
It's not set in yet. I mean, I had all the team guys jumping in saying congrats, and all I could say was thanks. It hadn't truly set in yet. It will once I get up out of the rig and go settle down and wind down. But I mean, as of right now, I'm just speechless. I mean, I raced for 8 months doing this thing, and stellar field of guys week in, week out. I mean, to be able to come out tonight and claim the championship with this group of guys is just tremendous.
Yeah, man. Nonetheless, that was very tremendous. You were very, very strong tonight too. Now onto the racing portion. I mean, man, you started in 8th position. We saw the grid. We saw you were farther back than the rest of your competition, but just slowly picked them off one at a time on the bottom too. I must point that out. You were the guy that really just kind of stuck to your guns right there on the bottom, made that thing work in the 15-man. And I tell you, if we wouldn't have had that caution flag, it was looking very well for you there to possibly pull that off, but also had to hold off your teammate Upbrook, who was looking strong too. All night long, it was y'all 4 going at it, but man, I feel like you just had a little bit of an edge there all night on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, we put in 2 practice sessions this week, and I had probably Mr. Homestead himself on the box tonight. I had Sheffield up there coaching me along in my ear. He is probably one of the best guys, racers at Homestead, I know, especially in those cars. So, we had practice with him twice this week, and he was coaching me through. Back to that caution, yeah, it had been close. I was right there on fuel. I knew Chris couldn't make it. Malarkey pitted a lap before me, so I knew he was going to be really close. And, it probably would have set up perfect for a 1-2 finish with, at least a top 3 finish between me and Matt there. So, but I think we still all brought it home top 6 for the team. So, got the overall the single championship, and I'm pretty sure we got the team championship as well.
Yeah, that was another thing I was about to say. You guys should have brought home the team championship also as well, man. That's got to be great too, because you and Upbrook all season long. Also, Richard Gonzalez have been just stellar and just so consistent each week in and week out, and that's what's going to bring home that team championship for y'all. I also want to read off a few stats for you this season, because man, you've had a stat stuffer of a sheet of a season, man. Because 6 wins to go, with 4 of them being playoff wins. That right there is one of the big stats for me through this season for you, man. You got 20 top 5s and 25 top 10s to go along with that, and then about an average finish of 5.3, man. I mean, consistency, I think, would come down to be, the intel for you there, because, you look at the dry spell. You went Daytona, won the race, then you go all the way to Michigan before you win again. Then you come out in the playoffs, man, and you're just on fire. I mean, just take us through the last 10 weeks, because it's like you flipped the switch.
Yeah, we went to Daytona there, and have it be. I was racing Richard, who wasn't on our team at the time. He come in there late, so I'm glad he was a great addition there in the latter part of the season. But just I don't know. I don't know what happened there in the middle part of the year. It was a consistent run. We had a couple finishes outside the top 10, but just trying to stay there, stay consistent, stay relevant. And knowing it didn't, as long as you could stay in the top 16 or win, it didn't really matter until we got down to the playoffs, and then it got down to week 1 of the playoffs, and it was just go time. Started putting in the extra work. Getting all the guys together, rallying together, just doing a little bit more studying, maybe going back watching past races, seeing where the line was, and just trying to put in that little bit of extra work to put me over the edge.
Well, man, the work you put in has come back to pay off, man. You are the champion this season. Congrats on that, David. It's been so fun to watch you guys battle week in and week out. The competition has been out of this world in the ARCA series. We've really loved each and every night here with you guys for the early broadcast, man. So got to thank you guys for putting on a show for us, man, and congrats on the championship again. But before we let you get out of here, who helps make it happen on that 15 to bring home this championship this season?
First and foremost, my wife. We've been doing this for 8 months every Tuesday night. I can't thank her enough for watching my son and watching our son and letting me do this from 6:30 to 9 o'clock every Tuesday. Secondly, my son Jackson. He is probably my biggest fan. He looks forward to every Tuesday night sitting down there with his mama on her phone and watching you guys do the broadcast. So he's the first one in here after the race saying, "Good job, Dad," or "You won," or "Hey, good race. You didn't win." But so big shout out to my son Jackson. Everybody at Donkey Punch Motorsports, Matt and Richard helping, giving feedback, putting in the work. And a big shout out to SJR. Everybody over there, Curtis, Travis, GT, Sheffield, and even Trevor here towards the back half of the season, just coming in, hanging out, and just giving pointers. Just biggest shout out to the Cup team there, and taking the time out of their schedule and out of their practice session to come down and help us ARCA guys, lock it up like we did. So, and to you guys first and foremost, and two, for putting this on, giving everybody something to watch on Tuesdays. I know my family loves it. I've got family members texting every week, "Hey, share the link, make sure we can get to it." And Ryan and Michael for giving us a place to race for the past 8 months. I mean, I know we're going into the winter series here with the Cup cars. We'll see if the ARCA comes back next summer's time, but just all the work and dedication they put into it, I just, it's one of those things I'm so thankful to have somewhere to race, and Chris and Justin and Anthony and everybody and Matt for just having a hell of a season and just putting on a good show for everybody.
Well, David, man, I tell you what, it's been one fantastic season for sure. 30 strong weeks out of you guys here at the ARCA Evolution Series. It's been so fun to call. But tonight, you're the champion, man. Go celebrate that with your family, man. I'm sure they're going to be very proud of you, and it's going to be a special night. Congrats on that, buddy. Go celebrate this thing.
Thanks, man. And one last big shout out to Mr. S himself, Sheffield. This is the second time he's been on the box for me a championship. He did it a few years ago in another league. So, big personal shout out to Michael for taking the time away and helping me out tonight.
David, congrats, man, on the
Thanks,
win.
guys.
in the championship. You have a great night.
Y'all too.
All right, everybody. That was your champion, David Edwards. What a season it was from him in that 15 machine, as he'll be crowned your champion after it's all said and done. 30 weeks come down to one race here where Edwards was able to put himself in position to win this championship. And we got more of that action coming up very soon here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Less than 30 minutes. We'll be live at 9:15 Eastern to see your RSR Cup Series. But let's see our race results before we hop out of here and get ready for the Cup Series. First place is going to go to Anthony Gaudio, getting that Sheffield Graphics race win to end out the season with his 6th win of the season. Second is going to go to David Edwards. Third is going to be Christopher Schmerol. Fourth is going to go to Matt Upbrook. Fifth is going to go to Justin Malarkey. Sixth is going to be Stephen Carey. Seventh is going to be Richard Gonzalez. Eighth, Steve Potter. Ninth is going to go to Jake Ashay. 10th is going to be James Wright. 11th is going to be Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. 12th, Stephen Rasick. 13th is going to be Justin Hendry. 14th, Matthew Dude. And Brian Fine will round out your field in the 15th position, as that was your race results here tonight from the Homestead Miami Speedway for the ARCA Evolution Series. And what a season it has been. Brandon, anything to add on to this wonderful season we had here before we go and head off to get ready for the Cup Series to finish off their season?
It's just been an awesome season. ARCA, it's really special. I mean, they drive so unique in terms of the stock car options that we have here on iRacing, and to see such a dedicated league and a group of guys come out and want to run these things and really kind of struggle bus with them week in and week out, and put on such a great show with it. It's been a blast to call for the last 30 weeks. And congrats to David Edwards and really everybody, not just David Edwards, not even just the championship 4, but everybody that's made the playoffs and showed up each and every week and gave us something to broadcast for the last however many months, and something to show to all the fans that come out and support them and support us. So it's it's a mutually beneficial arrangement here, and it's been a blast, and hopefully this series comes back for their next season, and these guys can keep plucking away at it. And maybe David Edwards, if he doesn't move up to the Cup Series, maybe he gets another championship here in the ARCA Series.
Very, very true. We could see him move up to the Cup Series, could see him stay down here in the ARCA Series and get another one. So we'll see how it all shakes out there. Man, what a season. I cannot shout out to the league here enough about how much of a show they put on for us week in, week out, and allowed us to do our jobs up here in the booth and bring the action to you fans at home. So thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Michael Sheffield, all of the guys behind the scenes who helped make this happen. And last but not least, the fans and the drivers. You guys are what makes it happen for us. If we didn't have the drivers, we couldn't have racing action out there. And if we didn't have fans, there'd be no reason for us to broadcast it. So it's really a pleasure to call all the action to y'all at home, your families, members, everybody who's tuned in. It's been a pleasure for 30 weeks. But, man, I just got to say thank you all for tuning in to this ARCA Series broadcast. Don't miss the Cup Series broadcast coming up right after this, because it's going to be, I mean, I tell you, do not miss that action out. That is going to be so fun to watch in those Cup cars here at Homestead. 4 guys battle it out, as that's Travis Severick, Curtis Preston, and Ryan Bean, and GT Arizari going for a championship there, as we'll send it up to Robert Moore Jr., our producer, to close out tonight's ARCA Series broadcast before we head off to the Cup Series.
All right. Well, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Zach, for calling the awesome action here in the ARCA Series for 30 weeks. Hopefully the fans enjoyed it out there as much as I enjoyed just listening to you guys and taking in notes, and I've learned a lot too. I do want to also give a shout out to Ryan for letting us be a part of this for basically a season and a half of these ARCA cars, and I second everything that Brandon said and Zach said. We thank you so much for letting us be a part of this for 8 months. So hopefully you enjoyed the content. But there's one thing to say here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done yet. Like Zach said, at 9:15, we're going to bring down our top 4 drivers in the Cup. They're going to let them hash it out with a little chat with Zach. And then they're getting out on the track, and they're going to put down their qualifying laps and get ready to try to run for a championship at 9:20 Eastern here as we round out the season here of 8 months. So it's going to be fun. So make sure you tune back in. And if you haven't done it yet, just hit that subscribe button. So when we do go live, you'll get the notification on your smartphone, iPhone, by email, and it'll let you know. It also has push notifications. so you'll always know when we go live throughout the week if you want to join us on any other night. But until 9:20, which is coming up here in about, in 15 minutes. So, yeah, we got to sign off here. It's been very long interviews and everything, but we'll catch everybody at 9:15. But until then, we want to say to all the ARCA fans, God bless you. Love yous all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.